What's going on, guys? One Chains Gaming back here with our weekly podcast. As per always, before we start the podcast, if you guys like the podcast or want to see more of these, I do tend to do these weekly. It's not necessarily every Friday. It more so ends up being either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Like today's is getting recorded on Saturday because I had some family stuff this morning, so it's actually getting recorded Saturday night. But I do try and get these out weekly for you guys. So if you guys obviously like the content, kind of want to keep up to date on the Myteam news, make sure to give the channel a follow. And then obviously if you are only hearing my annoying voice and not seeing the cards up in the background on Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, make sure to hit that follow button, and it goes up relatively the same time that it goes up on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into this week's content. Wasn't a whole lot of content, only got 2 days worth of content because I think the reason for it is I'm pretty sure that 2K is out of the office this week just because of the holiday. This is kind of a week that mostly everybody forgets between Christmas and New Year's. Just to where it's people still aren't back from Christmas but don't want to come back in until New Year, so normally they don't come in until like the next week. So maybe we'll see a big batch of Moments cards next week. I highly doubt it because 2K just hasn't really been all that consistent with Moments cards. But as far as the content we got this week, we only got 2 drops. So we got one on the 28th, which was Tuesday. And this drop was a joke. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I made a TikTok video that I believe ended up making it to YouTube, kind of going over my thoughts on this content because this content in general was pretty bad. So we will start with the budget card and work our way up. We did get a George Gervin, so 6'7", 6'10" wingspan, 73 3-ball, 80 driving dunk, 80 speed with ball, 80 ball handle, 83 speed and acceleration, 83 perimeter. Just like not a card that stands out in any one category. Really to make it like a card to use as far as a budget card, right? He doesn't have any like over noticeable strengths, doesn't have really any weaknesses, but at the same time just isn't like a better card than most cards we have right now. So he does come with jump shot 40, which is the Rip Hamilton jump shot. He does also get base dribble style. And then badge wise, he needs posterizer, he needs limitless takeoff, he needs like sniper, limitless spot up, blinders, catch and shoot, like just a lot of shooting badges. Doesn't get handles for days, doesn't get quick first step, doesn't get clamps, gets intimidate or interceptor, but you need to upgrade it. Like there's just a lot of things in general that this card is missing. And so that's kind of why I don't think anybody was overly excited about this card, because I mean we already got the Pink Diamond George Gervin and nobody was excited for that card either because that card was mid too. You know what I mean? So the fact you're going to drop a dollar store version of a card that people already didn't like kind of is weird to me. I understand that you got to get these 75th cards out, but like really? The next card we got was Lenny Wilkins. Lenny Wilkins is 6'1", 6'4" wingspan. So already with being 6'1", we're kind of starting to get to the point now where the 6'1" point guards are pretty much done. Everybody's realized that if they see a shorter guy, just go to paint mash and it works. So we're kind of at the point now where 6'1" point guards are really starting to be not a thing anymore. But he does have an 85 3-ball, can't dunk, 93 speed and acceleration, 93 speed ball, 94 ball handle, 91 perimeter, 92 lateral, 88 steal. Jump shot wise, you're looking at jump shot 33. I haven't tried this card out, so I don't know how the jump shot feels. I'm going to assume mid just because of the fact that it's John Barry's jump shot. Because normally if it's only a guy that gets like the early year cards, normally it's not a very good jump shot. He does also have slasher dribble style. So again, not going to be like a crazy dribbler with the ball. I mean, nobody is in this game, but like just not going to be above and beyond a point guard, like 300 point guard, because he's only got 85 3-ball, can't dunk the ball, has decent defense, sure, but he's 6'1". This doesn't matter because you still have to add interceptor to him. You have to add mismatch expert to him. You have to add limitless spot up. You have to add chef. You have to add blind. Like there's just too many things you have to add to this card to make him usable, and he's not moving the needle for me at all, right? And then the last card we got that was the quote-unquote headliner was Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki, 7'1", 7'3" wingspan, hot zones basically everywhere. 94 3-ball, 75 driving dunk, can't handle the ball, can't run, 65 speed. 78 interior, 64 perimeter, 60 lateral, 66 steal, mediocre rebounder. Got his own jump shot, which is slow, fundamental, and then some basic like under the basket stuff, right? Didn't come with unstrippable, didn't come with fast twitch, didn't come with mouse in the house, didn't come with slithery. You'd need to add those. You'd need to add some. You wouldn't really need to add anything shooting wise to him. Shooting wise, he's pretty good. Playmaking badge wise, you gotta add bullet, you gotta add unpluckable, you gotta add probably not even quick first step because I don't think it's gonna matter. And then defensively, you gotta add everything. You gotta add brick wall, you gotta add clamps, you gotta add interceptor, all full pass, rim protector, pogo stick. Like there's just so much you have to add to this card. He's not a good center at all. Like if I see someone to use, he's getting put in a pick and roll every time because interior he's mid, Perimeter, he's mid. Laterally, he's mid. Steal, he's mid. Speed, he's mid. Like, he's not a good card at all. So I don't understand why people would buy this card anyway to begin with. But, like, I mean, I guess if you're a Dirk fan, Dirk doesn't tend to be good until later in the year when either A, they change his jump shot, or B, he gets like an all 99 with the changed jump shot anyway. Like, it's just, Dirk is always seen as a really slow player to 2K, and a really bad defender. So it's just always is going to be how his card turns out, is just this kind of general situation, right? So then, of course, we got no content on Wednesday, no content Thursday. And then we got a tweet that was Thursday night talking about how if you guys want to see 14 Evos drop tomorrow, retweet the tweet or whatever, right? Just some typical hype beastie thing. So for that, of course, everybody got excited because we were like, oh, Evos, cool. We haven't seen Evos all year. And a couple people brought up the part that I think a lot of us forgot about. Evos can't get badges updated. And for whatever reason, I think because we saw the extra badge slots, there were a couple people who were like, oh no, they can get badges updated, right? So I took a couple of cards that I knew had Evos from like Domination and stuff and went to go put badges on them. They had the badge slots, but you couldn't put anything on them. And my first thought was like, well, maybe they just don't get the right badges, right? Maybe they just can't get any more badges. Maybe that's why it's not working, right? So cards come out Friday. And it was a decent set, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a decent set. But you can't add badges to them. You can add badges to the 75th cards we got on Friday, but you can't add badges to the Evo ones. The problem with the 75th cards now is you can add badges, but they don't get the upgraded stats that the Evo gets, right? So this set is, if you guys remember last podcast, I mentioned the New Year's resolution set that we got in 2K20. This is basically what that is. The difference is in 2K20, you couldn't add badges to cards anyway, so it did not matter, right? Badges weren't a thing. So now, the badges are a thing, and you can't add badges to Evos, it ruins it, right? Because, like, I did like a full card-by-card breakdown and stuff on the video that's on the YouTube channel before, so I'm not going to go into that. But, for example, actually, Steve Kerr's a terrible example because the card sucks. Let's go with a guy like Scotty Barnes, because Scotty Barnes, I think, was a budget guy people wanted, right? Because you got to figure 6'7", 7'2" wingspan. As an Evo, he's a diamond. Looks pretty decent, right? You can't add anything to him. The man has a 90 driving dunk and can't get posterizer. He has a 90 driving dunk, can't get limitless takeoff. Like, huh? How does that make sense, 2K? How does a man with a 90 driving dunk not come with posterizer? Like, excuse me? And then on top of that, you can't give him limitless spot up. So at your small forward, he's going to be at a disadvantage because he's not going to have any sort of range extender to him, right? Playmaking badge wise, this was a theme of the day. Hardly anybody got handles for days. I won't say nobody because a couple cards did. Hardly anybody that you wanted to get handles for days got handles for days. Scotty can't get glue hands, so he's not going to be able to catch the ball. Defensively, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I was kind of hoping that he would maybe get off Interceptor instead of Intimidator. I would have rather have seen him get Interceptor, because then I could have paired him with Mikal Bridges. It would have been beautiful, but unfortunately, I didn't get it. And then doesn't have dribbling badges, but that's whatever, right? On top of that, he has jump shot 11. If you guys don't know, 2K has murdered jump shot 11. 2 years ago, I believe it was Gilbert Arenas. It was like Gilbert Arenas, Hito Turkoglu, those kind of guys, all got jump shot 11, and it was beautiful. It was one of the best it was probably the best jump shot in the game. Since then, it's been murdered in the round. It's like a weird set shot looking thing now. It's terrible. But he was an interesting card. Another card I got for personal reasons. I picked up Shaun Livingston. I actually did his Evo because it was like a 8K difference between Evo and non-Evo. And I added a shoe to mine like a psychopath because Shaun's one of my guys for this reason right here. So Shaun's one of my guys. So Shaun will play on, probably how I will do it is Shaun will play on like the non-skill-based matchmaking games. So like Clutch Time he's been playing for me. He played a little bit in no, he didn't play limited because he didn't meet the requirements, but he will play in limited once he meets the requirements. Because at this 6'7" is a lie. I really think he's 6'9" in game. He looks tall. I think it's the slender player build. I think it's part of it because like Evan Mobley looks really tall in game, right? Evan Mobley has that same kind of scrawny player build, right? So I think it's just something with his player build makes him look taller in game. But 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. With the Evo, he gets an 85 3 ball. The jump shot's baited. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The jump shot's baited. Unless you are using this card for fun, don't pick up this card. I will be entirely honest with you guys. I did it strictly because he's one of my guys. I've been asking for a Shaun Livingston card for 2, maybe 3 years, or 2 years now, I think, because that was the last time he played. So since he was in the game, I had to do it just to at least prove a point, right? He's one of my guys. He had to be in the game. Because speed for a point guard's terrible. 77 speed's awful. Okay, dunker. The one thing I will say about his dunking is he doesn't get posterizer, doesn't get limitless takeoff, and then for his animations, I think it's this one right here. Yes, it's this one because it's LeBron's. This one right here, if you pull back on the stick, he puts it down to like his hip. Possibly even his ankle sometimes, depending on the animation, right? Like sideways, not backwards, sideways. So it gets blocked so often, it's terrible. I wish you could remove animations because that's horrible. But jump shot 27 is baited. Like the fact that it's on one other player, you guys should know. But I wanted to try it just to see because jump shot 29 is good. So I thought maybe it would be close enough to where it would work. Jump shot's baited. It's terrible. He is a card. If you play him on current gen, it's like a D-. If you play him on next gen, it's an F because it is so slow. It is unbelievable. But I mean, good mid-range, can dunk a little bit. This right here is a little concerning, but I mean, between coaches and stuff, I've got mine up to where it's usable. Again, speed's concerning. Vertical is decent, but this is a kind of a reason I'm using him. I've started to try something because I picked him up. I tried it yesterday, so Friday in clutch time. For the entire time I played, I ran Shaun Livingston, Gary Payton, Jonathan Isaac, Giannis, Evan Mobley. And what I did, because I've heard people talk about it, is that once we get to a switch everything meta, this game is dead, right? I tried it. It's bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's bad. If you play switch everything and play, if the guy's running pick and roll, you either play the hash or the corner, and you just cover up what the bot fucks up, it's bad. It's really, really, average clutch time games, guys were scoring like 10 points. It's bad. It's not going to be fun at all. Once we get a Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons isn't going to have 77 speed. Ben Simmons is going to have like 85 to 90 speed, right? Ben Simmons isn't going to have 82 perimeter defense. Ben Simmons is going to have like 90 perimeter defense. He's probably going to have a little bit better, right around here, maybe a little better interior. Ben Simmons isn't going to be able to shoot when we get Ben Simmons in like 3 weeks. But Ben Simmons is going to be horrible for this. Absolutely horrible for this. Because sure, Shaun can shoot, but I mean, if I'm in a 5-out anyway, and I get Ben Simmons, I'm just backing somebody down, right? Like, Ben Simmons is going to be what starts the switch everything meta, because nobody's going to use this card. This card's bad, because he's got a bad jump shot, right? Nobody's going to use this card. You can't add any badges. His badges are bad. Like, nobody's going to use this card on purpose. But once we get to the Ben Simmons point in the year, and people throw at, like, Ben Simmons, Kawhi, I don't know, like Paul George maybe or something. I don't know who would play the 3 in this. But once we get to like those 6-8 and above lineups, 6-7 and above lineups, once we get another good AK, like it's wraps. It's GG's for this game. This game is not going to be fun. You're going to be having games average 25 to 30 points per game and unlimited. If you're playing skill-based matchmaking, right, it means you're playing somebody is around your talent level, right? So that means if you are good at this game, you're playing somebody that's good at this game. And you're both going to know to switch everything. And because you're playing unlimited and you have to sweat, you're both going to have best lineups out there, right? So it's just going to be a switch everything. Nobody's scoring because nobody has to fight through a screen. That's the only way you score in this game, is you make the bot switch when the guy's not expecting it. Well, if they're switching everything, the guy's expecting them to switch, right? Like, it's going to be bad. But all in all, Shaun, if you guys follow my Twitter, you know I kind of wilded out yesterday on my thoughts on Shaun Livingston. I was very excited. Just because Shaun's my guy, so I got to support him always. But for another thing I will mention about Shaun, this 82 rebounds a lie. It's like an 80. Actually, hold on. It might actually be higher. Now that I think about it, because I have a coach. Yeah, so he's almost like a 90 rebound, right? For whatever reason, he feels like a 90 rebound. Like he's not snagging over centers, but if he's in that switch, he's getting good rebound animations. Like, he's jumping up there, he's grabbing the ball. He did get a couple of paint stops from around, like Kevin Garnett and stuff, even with this, which is weird because I didn't up that at all. I didn't touch that on the card at all. I probably should have, because I didn't plan on doing a switch everything meta when I added his shoe. But, like, it's pretty obvious that he's not good, but he's a fun card for me, at least. One more thing I will notice, because he's a point guard, and I want to yell at 2K for this. Where is my man's handles for days? Where? I don't see it. Donde estás his handles for days, 2K? He gets no handles for days. He gets no hyperdrive. He gets no quick chain. No quick first step. Like, this right here. These 4 right here. Like, hello, he's a point guard, 2K. I understand he wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but give me bronze. Just give me bronze for all 4. I don't even care. Give me bronze for all 4, please. And we're good. Like, I don't understand why 2K is like, nope, he's a point guard. No badges for him. But now, we will talk about the actual budget demon we got yesterday. Not Shaun Livingston. This man right here. So, the thing with Buddy Hield. 6'4", looks taller in game. 6'9" wingspan, works. You have to give 15 steals, which sucks. That's why it's about a 20K difference between the regular one and the Evoed one, because it sucks. The one thing I will say about this before they updated this, because they announced these early as hell. Like, I thought it was normally going to be like our normal, like, 8:30, 9 o'clock announcement. I was going to make the videos and stuff before packs came out. They announced these at like 7:30 Central Time or something. It was insanely early, right? And people saw it. He didn't get clamps after the Evo for whatever reason beforehand. So everybody on Twitter flipped out, and they gave him clamps. And I think a couple other ones. I don't remember the other ones, but they did give him a couple other ones. So after his Evo, he has a 93 3 ball, 70 driving dunk, so he'll dunk the ball at least. He's a top-tier lock in the game right now, guys. 92 perimeter, 92 lateral, 92 steal, Hoff clamps. You're getting pick dodge, you're getting pickpocket, you're getting ankle braces. Like, he's a top-tier lock in this game. He's got good shooting badges. I don't think mismatch expert matters. And the other thing with him, because he's 6'4", for mismatch expert to light up, you have to be at least 3 inches shorter than your opponent, right? So that means that unless somebody is using like Trae Young, or guys like Isaiah Thomas, mismatch expert doesn't work for them. It doesn't light up. And then the other thing that is interesting, he gets quick. He gets Kobe's jump shot on quick, which is chicken, by the way. I've seen that I've seen his shot today. It's chicken. It's ridiculous. Another thing I will add, though. 2K. Hello? Can I get some dribbling badges on my man, please? Like, come on, 2K. Like, now he has to be like a secondary ball handler, kind of. But if you dribble with him too much, he's exhausted. And it takes basically 20 seconds of dribbling to get open on this game. So I hate 2K for this stuff sometimes. Another couple of cards I will point out for you guys. Justice Winslow. I wish he would have gotten point guard eligibility. I think we're a little too early, though. I can't remember what set that was. He got it last year. But it was like a diamond point guard, Justice Winslow. I love that card. But, I mean, he's around the same value that a lot of these guys are going to be. Again, for the Switch All Meta, he's there. He's just a little short for Switch All Meta, I'm not going to lie. 6'6". He's kind of cutting a little close, but he does get catch and shoot. He does get some good shooting badges and stuff with that Evo. His, I think, is only make 25 threes. That's not terrible. Boozer's kind of a wash. His perimeter defense is bad. Kuzma, if you want a power forward and do his Evo's really quick. It's just 25 rebounds. You just throw him out there in triple threat and gets it done. He's going to be a really good rebounder. He gets the Mikal Bridges jump shot. So, again, it's like a 3-and-D cone. I think he'll be good. I wish his speed was maybe a little higher for that. But, I mean, all in all, he gets interceptor. He doesn't get clamps, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, if he's guarding like a corner guy or something, it's not that big of a deal, right? So, he wasn't terrible. Joe Caldwell, nobody cares about. Steve Kerr, nobody cares about. Westbrook is okay. You do have to make 35 threes with him. He does get a 92 3 ball. That's all he gets, but the badges actually is what makes it worth it. So, catch and shoot, Deadeye, lucky number 7, sniper, blinder, chef, circus, limitless spot up, mismatch, stop and pop, all that stuff. Decent defender. He at least gets clamps on him. He gets interceptor on him. Again, though, you can't upgrade anything. That's kind of why I almost think, because for him, I think he would get 4 badge slots, right? I think that sounds about right. I think he gets 4. I almost wonder if you go this route, because if you go the 75th route, Okay, so let's say I throw this on him, right? Already puts him in 84. Throw a shoe on him that's a plus, what? Shoes are what? Plus 4 right now, right? That puts it up to 89. You give him gold floor general. He's already at 92 again, right? So he's already at the same 3-pointer. You've already accomplished that. And then with this, you're allowed to upgrade the playmaking badges. So you can give him handles. You can give him unpluckable. You can get all that stuff taken care of, right? And then defensively, you can upgrade his interceptor. You can upgrade his off-ball. You can upgrade his clamps, his intimidator. Don't worry about that stuff. And then you can add your 4 badges or whatever you can add in here. So you can give him like chef. You can give him limitless. You can give him sniper. You can give him hot zone hunter. You can pick just 4 badges out of here and give them to him. So that is personally why, if you're going to badge up a card, I would say run the 75th cards. Excuse me. If you're not going to badge a card up and you just want fun, go with the Evos, right? So next card we got Dwayne Wade, which is interesting. Dwayne Wade looks like he would be the best point guard in the game if the side-to-side wasn't patched. Just with the way he was moving even on the patch, he looked okay, but he definitely looked like he would be better pre-patch. 79 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, can ball handle, fast, plays great defense, has goal or off clamps to start, gets silver rebound chaser, which is kind of an interesting badge. Again, same thing with this card. If you're going to badge him out, go with the 75th. If you're going to not badge him out, go with the other one, because again, there's Steph on there, 84. Whereas you go with the Evo'd one and you get 90. So I mean, you'll get there too, right? But I just think because of being able to upgrade badges and stuff, personally, his actually I would probably go 75th Evo now that I see it, because you got to figure you're not upgrading any of these. You're not upgrading any of these. I don't think you're upgrading any of those. So I think if anything, one of the few cards I will say that the exception is, not the rule, to go with the New Year's resolution is Dwayne Wade. Because then you get all these shooting badges upgraded. You get the 93 ball. Because on this card, he doesn't need stuff upgraded. Westbrook needed stuff upgraded. Does also help Dwayne Wade's 6'4", so he's a little bit taller. He's basically Gary Payton. I personally like Dwayne Wade's jump shot better than Gary Payton. But that's just me. I absolutely love, because the one reason I love it is this card right here. Thad Young is a GOAT. If you know, you know. But I mean, all in all, this card's good. He's pretty expensive right now. I think he's like $200-300K, somewhere like that. He's one of the more expensive cards out of the set. Shaq is interesting. Shaq is still an inside center. They did not give Shaq shooting. This one I would probably go 75th, because you're going to want bullet passer. You're going to want bailout. You're going to want quick first step. You're going to want limitless takeoff. You're going to want fast twitch. You're going to want slithery. Like, there's badges on here that you're going to want. Whereas the New Year's resolution one is, oh crap, I clicked Dwayne Wade, my bad. He has to hit free throws, and it only ups it to a 55. So you're not, I mean, sure, you're getting a couple of shooting badges, but I figure that's all you're getting. So you're not getting bullet pass, you're not getting stuff like that. This card's good defensively, though. Don't get me wrong. 84 speed is one of the faster, like, mid-tier centers, I think. Obviously, there's a couple other centers that are faster than him. But, I mean, defensively, he's really good. Because you got to figure with most coaches, he'll be at, like, 81 perimeter, 99 rebounding. Like, he'll be decent. Maybe if you get the Evo and you have, like, a perimeter-centric coach, maybe? I feel like you're still only looking at about, like, 69 to 73 ball. And with his jump shot, I don't know if that's consistent enough to warrant getting the Evo card. But yeah, definitely an interesting card there for Shaq. Kevin Love, so he got slasher. Thankfully, it gave him speed. If you're going to use Kevin Love, I don't recommend using Kevin Love, but if you're going to, definitely Evo him, because you want the speed. But, I mean, he's bad defensively. Same thing with Carlos Boozer. He's bad defensively. For the top 2 cards, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. I don't think a lot of people expected it. Both these cards are under 200K right now. At least when I checked yesterday. They're both under 200K. Because Zion is a power forward center at 6'7". He's just too short. And his jump shot's bad. His jump shot's weird, especially on next gen. I thought they'd give him base 29, but they didn't. And then Luka, for his Evo, he got defense, which is nice. But he can't play point guard. And shooting guard, small forward, especially for a 6'7" guy, there's just a lot of other cards there. Sure, he gets a lot of shooting badges, and that's cool and whatnot, but there's kind of a lot of cards already at that position, so he just kind of falls to the wayside. And also his dribble sigs are kind of really slow. But yeah, so that is the concept that we got this week. As far as limited goes, the limited was you have to have cards that are 85 driving dunk and higher. You can use 1 pink diamond and 4 amethyst. Everything else has to be ruby and below. So what I ended up using is I used Dame and then threw together like just a bunch of random ruby cards I had. Josh Smith was in there. Mo Bamba was in there. Let me see here actually if they have like a list of guys that I can kind of give you guys like some recommendations for here. I think they used to have this. Here we go. Oh, they don't have it anymore. That's tough. But yeah, let's go through like the rubies really quick, and I can kind of give you guys a general idea here. Let's look at driving dunk. Thank you. So like Gerald Green is okay. Desmond Mason's okay. I'm using this Vince Carter. He plays kind of like that bench role for me. Doesn't do too bad. Brent Barry's a good one. He's starting at the 2 guard for me for this. Jabari is a defensive liability. I wouldn't use him. Anthony Simons is okay. Not terrible. Terrence Ross is decent. Russell Westbrook's not great. I would use the Derrick Rose over him. Yeah, this Derrick Rose right here, he's like 1,000 MT. He's actually not that bad. OJ Mayo worked for me. He's actually got a pretty good jump shot. He's a good bench guy. Darius Miles is a little outdated, but I think he still might be able to work for some of you guys. Same with RJ Barrett. Sadiq Bey is good. I used Sadiq Bey for it. I used also Jonathan Isaac fits this material as well. Jonathan Isaac's really good for this. Jonathan Isaac's good for everything though, but that's just my opinion. Jonathan Isaac is a GOAT and shall be treated as such. But yeah, for you budget guys, that's kind of the main ones I was using. Josh Smith again. I mean, I wouldn't personally run a 5-man right now just because stamina affects your shooting and whatnot, so it's not the greatest thing. But I mean, all in all, I think it's a pretty. You can make a decent enough lineup to at least be able to get your ring. I think I got my ring first game after playing a quarter. So yeah, that is going to be the podcast, guys. Happy New Year to everybody. And hopefully we will keep this going throughout 2022. If you guys like the content, obviously, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.